do you want? A choice. A chance.
There's your chance. Take it.
Grateful.
The day will come when you won't be.
Hey, what's up, guys? Back again with this week's Walking Dead review for Season 7, Episode 13, entitled Bury Me Here. Alright, guys, episode starts out with a crew of Somber Kingdom residents load a single cantaloupe onto a truck, which has a strained blood stain on it. Carol wakes up from a restless sleep. After a moment of thought, she gets out of bed. Benjamin quietly watches as Morgan teaches Henry how to fight with a stick. And Henry is Benjamin's little brother, by the way. Carol leaves her cottage and heads towards the kingdom. Along the way, she incapacitates a walker but neglects to kill it. Once she arrives, Carol single-handedly kills 5 walkers at the kingdom's gates. The guards, shocked by her skills, let her in. She demands to see Morgan. Carol finds Morgan in his room and demands to know why Rick's group visited the kingdom. She asks if everyone at Alexandria is okay, despite what Daryl assured her. Morgan tells her she needs to ask Daryl herself and offers to return to Alexandria with her. She leaves. As Carol leaves the kingdom, Benjamin asks her to teach him how to fight. She refuses. Carol then comes across the walker she passed earlier, but is puzzled to find it has been put down. The camera then shows an unidentifiable shadow watching Carol from the distance. Richard digs a hole in the dirt behind an urban lot. Next to the hole is a child's backpack with the name Katie written on it. Back at the kingdom, Ezekiel watches residents going about their day. One of the residents, Nabilia, informs Ezekiel that the crop is infested with weevils and must be burned. She assures him it will grow back. Benjamin gives Morgan a framed painting to hang in his room. Ezekiel's crew loads cantaloupes onto a truck for their scheduled drop with the Saviors. Richard apologizes to Morgan for their strained relationship. He warns Morgan that Morgan will have to kill someday. En route to the drop, Ezekiel's crew encounters a row of shopping carts blocking the road on an urban lot. They search the area, weapons ready. Richard covers the group from behind. They find an open grave with a sign, "Bury me here." They move the carts off the road and continue on their way. They arrive at the meeting point with the Saviors, where the Saviors are awaiting. Gavin reprimands Ezekiel for being late. Gavin interjects as Ezekiel begins to explain their delayed arrival. Jerry tells him not to interrupt the king. Annoyed, Jared hits Jerry in the head with Morgan's stick, which he previously took during their last drop. Benjamin mutters under his breath, "Rat-faced prick." Jared hears this and glares at him. Gavin inspects the offering, then demands their guns. The two groups draw their weapons on each other. Richard advises Ezekiel to disarm and is promptly mocked by Jared. Ezekiel reluctantly complies. Gavin explains that he took their guns just now because things are about to get emotional, and he points out that they're not good when it comes up with emotions. Gavin says they are short 1 cantaloupe. Ezekiel insists that there are 12 cantaloupes. On inspection, he counts them and realizes there are only 11. Gavin explains he's going to teach them a lesson so they understand the stakes. Jared raises his gun and points it at Richard point blank. "Just do it," he tells him. Jared shifts his hand at the last second before pulling the trigger and shoots Benjamin in the leg. Shocked by the turn of events, Gavin chastises Jared and tells him to return Morgan's fighting stick. Keeping with the lesson, Gavin orders Ezekiel to bring him the 12th cantaloupe the next day. Meanwhile, Benjamin is bleeding out on the ground. After Ezekiel acknowledges that he owes Gavin, the crew quickly loads Benjamin onto the truck. Ezekiel's crew drives to Carol's cottage and rushes Benjamin inside. They try to treat his wound. Richard stands back in shock. Benjamin's dead body is covered with a white blood-stained sheet. Morgan abruptly leaves the cottage. Carol looks after him, a sad look on her face. Back at the urban lot where they encountered the roadblock, Morgan walks alone. He screams as visions of the past flash before him. He sees his son, his wife, Benjamin. He holds a knife to his wrist but reconsiders. Finally, he kicks a box over in his fury and finds the missing cantaloupe hidden beneath it. He instantly remembers Richard covering the group from behind and being out of sight. He realizes that Richard intentionally hid the cantaloupe. Morgan confronts Richard in his room. "It was supposed to be me," Richard says. He explains that he planned to provoke the Saviors into killing him, as Gavin had promised he'd be first to die if anything went wrong. He'd hoped his death would somehow, over something so petty, would motivate Ezekiel to fight the Saviors. Richard tells Morgan about losing his wife at a refugee camp, then losing his daughter while on a run. He blames himself for not taking action, a mistake he won't repeat. He proposes they do something to regain the Savior's trust, to show them that they get it, and then destroy them with the help from Alexandria and the Hilltop. Richard explains that someone had to die, and he was ready to be that person. Later, Morgan sits in bed, lost in thought. The next day, Ezekiel grimly places a single cantaloupe in the truck. At the drop, Gavin asks about Benjamin. When no one replies, Gavin realizes that he's dead. Upset and furious, he orders Jared to walk home and threatens to kill him should he disobey. As Richard brings the cantaloupe to Gavin, Morgan attacks Richard from behind. There is little resistance as Morgan strangles Richard to death. He tells everyone that Richard staged the missing cantaloupe in order to incite a war. He assures Gavin that they get it and that the kingdom will honor their relationship going forward. After the Saviors leave, Morgan explains that Richard wanted to sacrifice himself. He accidentally refers to Benjamin as Dwayne, his son. Morgan gets emotional and tears begin rolling down his face. Ezekiel attempts to console him. Morgan tells Ezekiel to leave him alone. After Ezekiel leaves, Morgan stabs Richard in the head to keep him from reanimating. Morgan drags Richard's body to the urban lot and buries him in the open grave. He finds Katie's backpack and buries it with him. Morgan then goes on a Walker killing spree. Later, Morgan visits Carol at her cottage. He confesses that the Saviors killed Glenn, Abraham, Spencer, and Olivia. He explains that Rick wants to fight the Saviors, and that's why he was at the kingdom. Then Morgan prepares to go, intending to go after all the Saviors, but Carol tries to convince him to stay. Carol returns to the kingdom and finds Ezekiel and Henry, Benjamin's little brother. She tells him she's moving to the kingdom to help them prepare. She says, "We have to fight." Ezekiel agrees, but not today. Carol joins Ezekiel and Henry in replanting the burned crops. Meanwhile, the episode ends with Morgan sitting alone on the cottage porch, sharpening the end of his fighting stick and getting ready for war as well. So, all right, guys, that was the review / breakdown of the season 7 episode 13 entitled "Bury Me Here." Very Morgan Kingdom centric episode, but I thought, without having Rick and Negan, this is probably one of the better episodes of the entire series. When you don't have like Rick or Negan or a couple of the main people, this episode was just absolutely amazing, intense, emotional, all rolled into one. It was pretty damn awesome. But yeah, guys, that was the quick little breakdown review of it. I'll leave your thoughts down there in the comment box and let me know what y'all thought about it. I thought it was just freaking awesome. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for checking this out as always. Like, comment, most importantly, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Y'all be good.
Welcome to Woodbury.
Pushing my pants yet?